Welcome to SwitchWatch, I'm Juan Romero. This is my Kunai review on the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch is blessed with Metroidvania games, with our favourite being Hollow Knight, but there is always room for another for all of us here at SwitchWatch, as long as it brings some fun gameplay to the table. And well, this one grabbed my attention as soon as I saw the trailer. But is it worth your time and hard-earned cash? Let's break it down and find out. Now, the story here has been done many times, but it never gets old until it happens for real. I mean, AI will take over the world one day and destroy us, and that's exactly what's happened here. Lemonkus is evil, wiped out nearly all of humankind, and robots roam free now across the world. And these little bots look angry with their red faces, and I don't like them one bit, but we'll get to that in a sec. Onwards with the story. Here you control Tabby, who is a killer robot. Not only is this robot a badass, but it's infused with a human soul. Not just any old soul though, but the soul of an ancient warrior. I was all in by this point and ready to go. The story grabbed me like my missus pulling the covers off me in the morning when I can't get up for work. The name is Tabby, which is a little bit tame if you ask me, but who cares? It's a ninja bloody robot who's about to cause all kinds of mayhem, and all in your control. And how you go about it is of course up to you. Now, the reason I love games like this, damn, I'm giving too much away. Okay, the reason these games grab my attention is because, well, I like to start as a character with limited skills and abilities. In fact, here you start the game with almost bugger all. You can single jump, and that's about the extent of it. Explore a little bit and you pick up a katana and start swiping away like your life depends on it. The first thing I noticed is how tight the controls are, which is key in a Metroidvania like this, where obviously platforming is a big part of the game. The premise here though is a simple one: explore, kill and avoid any nasty traps while doing it. And of course there's going to be some bosses along the way to take you down. What struck me though was just how fun it was to tear the enemies apart, swiping your katana madly sideways or upwards, firing off a nifty shuriken, or swinging your way on top of an enemy and swiping your sword through it until it's in bits. It just felt gratifying. The movement of Tabby also threw me. I was expecting it to move a little bit heavy about the 2D levels, but Tabby moves around like a ninja possessed with the speed of a cat. You'll meet a bunch of friendlies along the way. He'll give you handy bits of information, which makes the game flow along rather nicely. Something along the lines of, you may want to head to that haunted factory, as there's a nice weapon waiting there for you. Rightio, off I go. And as the hours pass by, you soon realise that this isn't any old robot. This is not any ordinary soul infused into this bad boy. Soon you'll be double jumping, grappling around the levels with your kunai, which can be extended with the touch of ZL or ZR from each side. There are dangerous platforming parts which you'll also need to navigate, and like any good Metroidvania, new skills will open up and new areas will also open up because of those skills, which will present different challenges along the way. What stood out to me though is how each section is rather different in pacing and what you need to achieve. For example, in certain areas there'll be more exploration through jumping, swinging using your kunai, while others will require quick reactions to avoid being crumpled by falling blocks and other nasty traps, saw blades and spikes. And those parts really reminded me of Super Meat Boy. Enemies do become tougher and your arsenal also becomes better. As you collect fallen coins from your foes, you can upgrade through the Wi-Fi connections which are dotted around, and you'll find these spread out in the resistance bases. I love how you can connect up and choose, say, a magnet to collect coins so you don't have to run over them each time, or how each new addition to your arsenal has its own set of little upgrades too. The katana sword has a handy power up so you can hold the action button down while the enemy comes into focus. A red circle highlights around it and Tabby in an instant will move towards it, slashing it to bits if you keep pressing the Y button. There are other cool imaginative additions like being able to point the guns down while shooting to create a bit of a jetpack effect. Super cool if I say so myself. Even jumping makes use of the buttons on the Switch really well. A light press and you'll do a small jump and hold it down, and a longer jump will ensue. You can slide down walls, jump in the opposite direction. There's loads of skills to master, and before you know it, you'll be jumping through levels, slashing enemies and grappling from one place to another in what can seem like a very smooth motion, like Spider-Man in 2D in a way, only with a katana and some SMGs. If you enjoyed games like Katana Zero, Hollow Knight and Dead Cells, then this has elements from all of those. There are save points, so getting from one point to another will sometimes leave you fuming, as some parts are harder than others, so sometimes the balance between sections can jump up in difficulty very quickly, leading to some difficulty spikes, which some of you may find frustrating. For me, it was all part of the course and none of it felt unfair. Okay, maybe the bit with the battle cruiser was a bit naughty where you fall to your death if missing a platform, but otherwise all good fun. Now, those of you that don't like to backtrack, this still has it applied here. It wouldn't be a Metroidvania if there wasn't some form of backtracking involved, but I know some of you may not like that, but it's all part of exploring the map to the maximum. Those of you that like to 100% games, there's lots of hats to find which you can change while playing the game at any time, but these are just like skins really. My current favourite was just wearing a part of Sunny's. They don't give you any sort of power-ups or anything like that. Bosses are also different and fun. I have to commend the developers for making the game have quite a lot of variety. The bosses are no different. Some are nice and easy, but others will present a different challenge in which you need to figure out how to beat them. And once you beat each Guardian, you'll usually get something from the area which will increase your skills. And when you attain the Shuriken, for example, you can start opening doors by hitting switches with it. And you can also switch between weapons once you collect a few more in the game. Now, I did come across a bug a couple of times which meant restarting the game, and well, sometimes the grappling hooks would not attach to the sort of surface. There are differing surfaces which the hooks do not attach to, which is part of the game, but I'm talking about the sections where it would work and then all of a sudden it wouldn't. Restarting the game would fix this issue. I've made the development team aware. Hopefully there is a patch at some point. In terms of audio, really enjoyed the audio here. It's absolutely absorbing and bang on in my opinion. Suits the game and the environments perfectly with the right pitch and tempos chosen to match the environments. Fantastic job for sure. I was really pleased as it brings the game up to another level. There are lots of 16-bit references here, which I'm sure many of you are going to absolutely love. Take a listen to some of the sort of music here and let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Sound effects are great also, and even the voiced intro was a nice touch. Visually, you're either going to love this or you're not going to like it so much. I really enjoy the use of the dark colours here. It means that when the effects present themselves on screen, they look more potent. Each zone has a unique colour palette which made each of the zones feel distinctive, but it's the smooth, buttery animations that steal the show for me. Tearing up the boss doesn't get old or boring, looks great with all the little particle effects on screen. There is the Fallen City, the airship, and loads more places to explore on your travels. Lots of little highlights and secrets to find. Let's talk about Tabby though and the expressions on its face. Excellent when it flips from smiling to a lean, mean fighting machine. You know when it means business, that's for sure. I also like the design of the bosses. When finding your guns for the first time, one of the bosses that you beat is an absolute highlight, a mental blob, which was an absolute brilliant piece of design, I thought, and when beating it, it just looked great. The fluidity and performance in both handheld was very good. I know it should be that anyway, that should be the standard, but as an indie game, I've played so many where there's slowdown and you encounter that, and you know, it just detracts a little bit from the game's performance. I'm glad to say though, I didn't encounter any of that, either in docked or in handheld mode. So value on this then, you're looking at 5 to 7 hours dependent on your skill level. And well, there's lots of collectibles here. It's not the longest Metroidvania you'll ever play. The hours you do play are filled with quality in my opinion. So while you are looking at paying $16.99, £15.29 in the UK, and well, £16.99 in euros. It does not have any co-op or anything like that, but it does have a hidden time trial for those that love to speedrun, which should keep you occupied. So for me, worth the money for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, before I get into my verdict, if you are a new watcher, why not consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification so we can let you know when our new videos go live. We promise you it will be worth it. I'm often reminded by games like this why I do this in the first place. It's these gems that keep me going. You don't need the best visuals or the biggest budget in the world for it to be superb fun. Games where I can lose 7 hours or so in a cool little world where I can slice and dice bad robots and shoot them to pieces for good measure, all while swinging around the levels like Spider-Man, but as a robot who is nimble and fast. That just shouldn't make sense, but it does. Kunai has a superb soundtrack, lots of fun gameplay. There are a few bugs that you need to be aware of, but nothing major. It's engrossing from start to finish, and my only wish is that it was a little bit longer. And that's the biggest compliment I can give it. A really solid 8.5 out of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still here watching, then thank you so much for supporting. Leave us a comment down below letting us know what you think of this game and whether you're going to pick it up. I'm going to put some videos up now. I'm going to put a list of our favourite Metroidvania, so check that one out. Also, our bargain videos that go live every Sunday, and Jordan's physical videos that let you know all the boxed games that are coming out on the Nintendo Switch Weekly, which is out every Monday. So if you want to see those videos, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification. My name is Juan Romero from SwitchWatch. Really enjoyed this one, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.